Hello guys, welcome to session 3 of Android Study Jam. I am Satyajit Mishra and I will today teach you how to create a notification using Kotlin. Our final app will look something like this, and as you can see it has a button, and if we click on it, a notification appears and we can see it now. Here you go. And one thing that even if we go back to our home screen, still we can view our notification, and if we click on it, we will go directly to our application. So before we start implementing it, I will first show you the documentation. Let's go to developer guides, docs, and then we can go to user interface, notifications, and here you can see it has tons of data for you to read and to create notifications as per your requirements. It has different types of notification, different behaviors, grouping, managing, everything from badging to grouping, simple everything. And for this example purposes, we will only do a simple notification that will be showing in our notification bar. So now I will open my Android Studio, create a new project, empty activity, and name it ASJ notification, and I'll have my minimum SDK set to level API 28, that is Android 9. Now as you can see, our app is built and ready to go. So one thing that is required for you to know is that after Android 8, that is Android Oreo, Google made it mandatory for us developers to create a notification channel to create a notification. So what this notification channel does is that it basically stores the configuration files of our notification. This is not required if you are using a device that is below Android 8. It is only required if you are using a device above Android 8. So first we'll have to create that notification channel, but before that I will just create my layout file. So I'll go to my design tab, delete the text view and just drag a button, and I will center it vertically in parent and horizontally in parent. I will give it an ID of BTN notification. And I will set the text to show notification. Yeah, that's it. That's all we need to do to create our notification. Design. Next we will go to our main activity, and first we will just set some values. We need three things, basically the channel ID, the channel name, and for notification we will need our channel ID, notification ID. So let me quickly do that. I will name it channel ID. It can be anything. This is used for if your application is let's say using different notification, different purposes, then these you will use more of these. But since I am only using one notification, I will just for demo purposes I will simply name them channel ID and channel name. Now inside onCreate, I will create a function to create my notification channel. I'll create the function, and in here I'll create my notification channel. But first I'll check if the device is using Android 8 or above. If build .version .sdkint greater than equal to build.versioncodes.o, that is Oreo. Yeah, If it is using version Oreo or above, then we will create our notification channel. Yeah. So first I'll create the channel variable. Notification channel, and here as you can see we need to pass our ID, our name, and the importance. So first the ID and the name we have already defined. We just need to put them here. Channel ID, channel name, this channel should be channel. I'll change it here. And for the importance is something that tells our notification like how much importance should it be given, if at all it shows. Like should it set some sounds, should it set some lights like the LED light, anything. For now I will just use the default one, that is notification manager dot importance default. And then let's say I want to light up the LED light of our phones, then I will use the dot apply, and here I will set the light color attribute equals to color dot I will set it to blue, and then I will set enable lights as true. Note that this thing cannot be demonstrated in our emulator, but it can still be demonstrated if you are using a physical device. Next, we will create our manager. Manager is something that manages all our notifications. So val manager equals to get system service, and here I need to put context dot notification service as notification manager. Now I need to tell my manager to call my notification channel. So manager dot create notification channel, and that's it. That's all we need to create our notification channel. Now we will create our notification itself. So again, inside on create, I'll create my notification value equals to notification compat dot builder. I'll pass my context this comma, and here I will need to pass my channel ID. Now we can set the different attributes of our notification, like the title or the description. So for the title, it is set content title. Let's say it is Android Study Jam. Then for the description, set content text. Yeah. Let's say this is our notification. And we can also give a small icon to our notification to show at the top. And to do that, first I have to create my icon itself. So inside res, right click drawable, new, vector asset. I will select this image, and let's say notification. I'll use this bell icon. Next, finish. And now our notification, our drawable file has been added to our drawable folder. Next, all we need to do is just set small icon. Now I'll pass my drawable ID, r.drawable.notification. We can also set a priority, that is notification compat.priority high. I'll set it to priority high. And next we can now build our notification, that is dot build. Now we will again call a notification manager to handle this notification. So val notification manager equals to notification notification manager compat notify manager compat dot from, and I'll need to pass my context this. Now all I need to do is set up the button that we created, set its on click listener to show our notification. So for that, first I need to initialize my button. So I'll name it btn notification equals to find view by id. It is of button type, and the id was btn notification. Yeah. And now btn notification dot set on click listener notification manager dot notify our notification manager dot notify, and now we have to pass our id, that is notification id and our notification itself, and that's it. That's all we need to do to show our notification. Now let's quickly run the application. Now as you can see, our application is successfully compiled, and now our notification application is here showing in the emulator. And now if I click on the button, I can see my new notification with my bell icon. I can even see it. I'll just quickly clear this one. Yeah. So that's it. But now as you can see, we cannot click on it. Nothing happens if we click on our notification. To do that, we'll have to use something called as a pending intent. What this pending intent basically will do is that if we are using another application, if we are inside another application and still we click on that notification, it will take us directly to our application, and if we click on the back button, it will again come back to our previous application. So to do that, we will first need to create our pending intent, and we'll have to do it before creating a notification. So here I'll create my val intent equals to intent this main activity class.java, and now my pending intent equals to task stack builder dot create this our context dot run, and inside this run function I will tell it to, if we want to go back to our previous application, we can do that. So add to backstack, add next intent with parent stack, and here I'll pass my intent, and I will get my pending intent. Get pending intent. Here I'll have to first set some request code. For now I'll just set it to 0, then pending intent dot flag update current, and now our pending intent is set, and now we just have to call it, and we'll call it inside our notification flag. So after dot priority, I'll just set another attribute dot set content intent to pending intent, and that's it. That's all we need to implement functionality to tap on our notification to go back into our application. Let's quickly run it again. As you can see, our application is up and running. Now if we click on the show notification icon, our notification is shown, and if we go to our home screen and then click on that notification, we can go directly back to our application. We will see 4 things. First, we will see how to create a list. Second, we will see how we can add items to our list, how we can delete items from a list, and also we will see how to create a snack bar. Snack bar is something that appears on the bottom of our screen. It appears something like this. As you can see, this is the snack bar, and we will do everything. So as you can see, we can add items to our list using this plus button. Okay, and as you can see, Tokyo is added. And I can also delete items from the list by simply just by long pressing them. So if I want to delete Goa, I just long press it and just delete it. And usually you can also get a snack bar to indicate that. We can also undo something, and as you can see, the item is added back on the list. So to do that, first let's create a project, empty activity. I'll name it ASJ ListView. Finish. Now our project is ready, and the first thing we need to do is create our design. So I'll go to activity main, delete the hello world text view, and simply add a list view to this. So this view will be in the legacy tab, list view, and I'll simply drag it in the center. I'll constraint it, and I'll give it a margin, and give it a margin of around 8 dp. Yeah, and now our list view is set. We just need to set a few more attributes, like our ID. I'll give it list view only, and my layout width 0 dp, that is to match our constraint, and height 0 dp. Now as you can see, our design tab is ready. Now let's go to our main activity and add items to our list. So to first, we will need to set our cities list. So in our main activity, I'll create a value cities equals to array list of type string, and my value city is created. And also I will also need a list adapter for my for handling my cities items, and I will initialize as a late init var, and it basically means that I'll definitely initialize it later but not now. So list late init var, and name it list adapter. It is of array adapter, and type string again. Okay, so now inside my onCreate, I'll create a new function, init data, to just create my hard-coded city names. And in a professional application, it doesn't work like this. We have to do everything using a database. But for now, I'll hard-code the city names. So I'll simply inside init data, I will add some cities names. Dot add. Let's see. I'm simply copying it and just changing the names. And I guess that's enough. Yeah. So these are my city names that I wanted to add. And now I'll again come back to my main activity. In my onCreate, and here I will set my adapter. So first I'll initialize my list. So val list, find view by ID. It is of list view type, and my ID was r.id.listView. And now I'll set my list adapter. List adapter equals array adapter. This, as you can see, this takes in a context, a resource, and our object array string. So we will pass everything. The context is this, as we are in our main activity. Then for the layout, I'll simply use a predefined Android r.layout.simple list item 1 and I'll pass my city arrays. And now I'll simply set the adapter list.adapter equals to list adapter. And that's it. That's everything we needed to set up this. And now we can run our application to see our list. Now, as you can see, our app is up and running, and we can now see our city names that we had added in our code. And if we can just copy this thing again and again, just for example, we can see we can even scroll down and that will not be an issue. So let me just add them and run it again. Now you can see it can be scrolled up and down, and that will not be an issue. So now our list is set. Now we need to set up some activity to add our items to our list and also to delete functionality. So I'll again delete these things. First thing we'll need is to use our menu icon, plus icon that will appear on the top right. So to do that, first I will need to create my icon. So I'll go to my res folder, right click drawable, new, vector asset, and click on this clip art, and I'll select search for plus, add, yeah, and I'll use this icon. Next, finish. Now our plus icon is inside our drawable folder. Now we'll create our menu. So to creating a menu is easy. Right click on your resources, new, Android resource directory, and it will be of menu type. The resource type will be menu. Okay. And now you can see a menu folder is added. And now right click menu, new, menu resource file. I will name it menu main, enter. And now inside this menu attribute, I'll add my item. So item, I'll have to give it an ID of add action. I'll have to give it a title of let's say add city, and its icon to be IC baseline add, and show as action never, always. And now it will always be a plus sign, and if we do it as never, then it will always be a 3-dot menu item, and when you click on it, it will expand to a small menu, and then you can select this. But for now, I'll only use always, and our menu is set. I'll close the tag. Now to use the menu, we have two functions basically. First is on create options menu. So I'll simply type in, and the autocomplete feature will fill me up on create options menu. I'll return true. And I'll just set my menu to menu main. So menu inflator dot inflate r dot menu main comma menu. Our menu is set now. Now to implement on-click listeners to it, on options item selected, I will check when item dot item ID, and I will set the item ID to check for my add id. So r.id dot add action. Then I will tell it to go to a function, that is add item function. So I'll also return true. Now let's implement this add item function. And inside add item, we will use something called as a dialog. The dialog is basically a screen that appears in the middle. Let me quickly show it. So I'm clicking on this plus icon. This in the middle of the screen, that the view that you see is also called as a dialog. It is also can be called as an alert dialog. There can be different types of dialog. And now to implement the dialog, first I'll have to use the dialog. First we'll have to create the layout of this dialog. So again, in my layout file, right click, new, layout resource file. I'll name it as dialog layout. Yeah, and my root element would be a frame layout. Okay. So now frame layout does, as you can see in the documentation, frame layout is designed to block out an area on the screen to display only a single item. That means it is used to display items one above the other. We are using frame layout because it is much more efficient than using constant layout. So inside our frame layout, what we can do is we will add a text input layout. Text input layout basically does is what inside this dialog, this is a frame layout, and this gray area that you see, it is a text input layout, and inside that text input layout, it is our edit text here, where we can add our city name. So we can directly use edit text, but it is much more better UI to use a text input layout. So I'll use a text input layout. It's margin height and width with the match parent and wrap content. And I will give them a left and right margin of 16 dp. And now inside our text input, we will put our edit text, match parent and wrap content. And here I'll give it an ID of input item input, and also I'll give it a hint that will show the user of what is supposed to type. And simple, we do it, enter city, and as you can see, our layout is ready. I close the tag, and now we also need to change the height of the frame layout to wrap content to only view the part that we need it to use, and then also give it a padding of 8 dp, and now it looks much more better. Now this dialog layout is ready, and now what we can do is we can go back to our main activity and implement it. So to implement it, first we will check for the dialog alert dialog.builder. So we will again add this in our main activity. It will also be a late init type add item dialog, and it will be of type alert dialog dot builder. That's it. Now we can implement it inside our add item function. So inside our add item function, and create a value called as dialog view, that is that will inflate our layout. Dot inflate r dot layout dot dialog layout, and I'll pass in null as a root layout. And now this add item dialog that we have created here will be used. Add item dialog equals to lot dialog dot builder. I'll pass my context dot set view, and I'll use my dialog view dot set the title of our dialog to add city. And now we will just first initialize the edit text. Val edit text equals to find view by id. No, not find view by id. I'll use dialog view dot find view by id. It is an r dot id dot item input. Add item dialog dot, and for dialog we have two buttons. We can set the functionality of two buttons, that is the set positive and set negative. Positive basically means the OK button, negative basically means the cancel button. So to do that, add item dialog dot set positive button. This I wanted to show OK. We can change it to whatever you want, and it will take in the parameters. And as we are not passing anything to it through it, so we can only pass underscores that indicates that it doesn't pass or do anything. And if the user presses on the OK button, the program should check if anything is written inside our edit text. And to do that, first then I'll again have to initialize another variable that will handle the string that the user has added. So again, at the top, we'll do let's say m city. It is of string type. And now to check what is inside our edit text, what we can do is dot set a positive button to that m city equals to, we'll check for our edit text, which cannot be null, dot text dot toString. Now our mcity has the data that was passed in our edit text, and now we can directly add it, cities dot add mcity. And also we need to notify the adapter that the list has changed. This is a very important process, and do not forget to do this. It is dot notify dataset changed. And now the list will be updated and our new item would be added. But now we also have to set the negative button, that is the cancel button. Add item dialog dot set negative button, and it will say cancel, and it will also take in no parameters, so underscores. And now I'll just simply use a snack bar. So to create a snack bar, all you need to do is type in snack bar dot make, and as you can see, it takes three parameters: view, the character text sequence, and the duration. So for the view, you need to pass the parent view, and in our case it is our list view. So r.id dot list view. A character, I wanted to show that no city added, and for a duration, snack bar dot length long dot show function. Let me do that again. okay, I have to set my view with, so r dot id dot ListView. Yeah, now I'll pass my text, that is no city added, bar dot length long dot show function. Yeah, and now I will tell the dialog view to show itself, so add item dialog dot show, and that's it. Now the item will be added and will be updated accordingly. So now we can run our application and we can check that it is working or not. As you can see, now we can see our plus button, and if we click on it, we get our dialog, and this is our text input layout, and it contains the edit text. And now if I give it something like Goa and then OK, and then Goa is added. And now let me also show you the snack bar. Like if we press on cancel, the snack bar is showing perfectly. And now to implement the delete functionality, what we can do is set the items long click listener to delete items, so that whenever the user clicks on anything and long presses it, then it will delete the item, and we will also give it a functionality to undo itself. So to do that, we have to go into our on create, and inside that we have to set the on item long click listener. So list dot on item long click listener equals to adapter view dot on item long click listener, and here we need to pass our adapter view, then my view, and my position. Okay, no. We can use a curly braces. Adapter view, dot on item long click listener. Select the second item with the curly braces, and you can see it is already filled up with what we need. And I'll just change the I with our position for better understanding, and L with our ID. And inside that, I'll implement my delete function. But for that, before deleting anything, I'll first create a temporary variable to store the name of my city in case I need to re-add it using the undo button. Cities of POS, that is the position of our button, position of our city. And now we can do cities dot remove, and we can use the remove at POS to remove the position, the city on which the user clicked. And now we can also implement a snack bar for it. So snack bar dot make, we have to pass our view this time we can use the list directly, and just you can do the city deleted duration snack bar dot length long. And now to set action icons, that is the undo action, we have our set action attribute dot set action. I'll just use it below, set action undo, and I'll pass in my attributes. And here again, as I am not passing anything to it through it, so I can directly use the underscore, and then again add it. So cities dot add, and I can pass my position and my string. So position and the temporary string that we have created. We again have to notify the adapter that something has been changed. So list adapter dot notify dataset changed dot show function. Now our stack bar should work. And also after everything, if we deleted something, then also we need to tell the adapter to notify the data set that it has been changed. So again, list adapter dot notify data set changed, and now we can simply write true to return, and now our application should work perfectly fine. Let me again run the application. Now as you can see, if I long click on any item, it will be deleted, and we are also notified by it using a snack bar. And let us also check the undo action. On pressing undo, our item is again added. Now we are going to see a more important topic, that is called RecyclerView. So let me quickly show you the documentation first. What RecyclerView does is that instead of list views, we can use RecyclerViews to highly customize our layouts. And adding and removing items from RecyclerViews are super easy, and RecyclerViews are also super efficient, because what you see is basically what you get. That means if you have like say 20 items in your list, and currently in your smartphone you are only viewing 6, like you are not scrolling anywhere and you are only viewing 6, then only the process is only happening for those 6 elements, not the rest of the 14 elements. And as you scroll down, the upper view gets recycled and towards the bottom, hence the name RecyclerView. That's why it is also called efficient. So let us quickly find the documentation. So in the guides, we can go to user interface, layouts. Here you can see create a list with RecyclerView. So RecyclerView contains 3 main parts. That is the 3 main parts: the model class, the view holder, and the adapter. The model class is basically what tells our program that these types of items are gonna be in our list for the layout, and for each layout we have to pass a new binding holder, view holder, and also we have to create a definite layout for each of our items. And in our adapter we have 3 methods. Let me show you. Yes, the 3 methods: the on create view holder, the on bind view holder, and the get item count. We'll use all those things, and you can see how we can use the RecyclerView in a more efficient manner here. And now let us quickly go and implement it. So going into my Android Studio, create a new project, empty activity. I'll name it ASJ Recycler with a minimum API level of 28. Now my project is built. First thing we need to do, create the design. So activity main.xml, I will delete the hello world, and now inside that I'll just simply drag my RecyclerView. As you can see in my palette window, I can see RecyclerView. In case you don't have Recycler, if you are seeing a download icon right here, that means you haven't implemented the dependency for it. So for that we have to go into a Gradle script, build.gradle module file, and here as you can see there are a bunch of dependencies that are preloaded, and here you need to add your RecyclerView dependency too. So to do that, we'll again go to Chrome, search for RecyclerView dependency, the first website from developers.android.com. You can see the current stable release is 1.1.0, and this is the line that you need to add. Like copy it and add it directly here, and after adding it you can simply sync now. But since I've already implemented the Google Android material in the dependency, I don't need to implement the RecyclerView, because of the fact that material design is a parent view of RecyclerView. So if I have material, then I don't need a RecyclerView dependency. Just check that out. And now you will see that the download icon will be gone. Now we can use RecyclerView. So first I will simply drag it to the middle, and I will constrain it horizontally in parent, vertically in parent. I'll give it a ID of RecyclerView, and I'll remove the width and height to match constraints, that is 0 dp, and I'll even give each of the constraints a margin of let's 8 dp. Okay, now our RecyclerView is set. Now what we need to do is create another XML file just for our each item layout. As you can see, here is a bunch of lists like item 0, 1, 2, 3. So to implement the layout, we need to create the layout of each item. So we'll go into our rest folder, right click layout, new layout resource file. I will name it item layout, and my root layout will be constant layout. Now another layout is created, and I'll have to implement it. So what I'll do is, first of all, let me add a card view here. Card view is always better. I mean, I like card view to use inside RecyclerView. So I'll simply search for card view, drag it, constrain it again, horizontally in parent, vertically in parent, and for the layout width and height, width 0 dp, height 0 dp. Yeah. Now it is set, and I can also add a few more attributes to it. The split tab in here, I will give it an elevation of, let's say, 5 dp. Also I will give it a corner radius so that it appears rounded of 10 dp. Now you may not be able to see it, but you will see it afterwards. And inside here of card view, what we can do is we will add our layout. So I'll simply use a linear layout here, linear layout, match parent, orientation horizontal, then inside our linear layout I'll use two views, that is my image view and a text view, and I'll just drag them right away with the image view. I'll drag it here. I'll use this sample data. Also I'll use a text view to display some text. Okay, now I'll go back to the split, and here I'll simply remove the weights. First I'll remove the weights, and I'll give them the IDs. I'll let them be image view and text view respectively. Here I'll set the width to almost, let's say, 150 dp, and height I'll set to 120 dp. I'll give the layout gravity center, and I'll use scale type. Scale type, what it basically does is it will like, as you can see, there is some white spaces left in the left and right sides of our image, and if I choose center crop, then it will fill the whole space and crop the image accordingly. Now our image view is set. I'll also give it a margin of, let's say, 8 dp. And now I'll do the same for the text view. I'll let them be match parent and wrap content with match parent, gravity center. Then I'll also give it a margin of 8 dp on all the sides. I'll use a font family, so medium, sans serif medium. I'll set its appearance to large, and I'll also increase the text size like 24 sp. Always remember to use sp, that is scalable pixels, for text size, because in different devices different font sizes are used, and if you use scalable pixels, that means the resolution will be perfect, and if you use dp, then your resolution might fade away. So the next thing we need to see is our text view is set, our image view is set. And now what we can do, we'll simply go to the top and for root constant layout, and here as you can see it is filling the whole screen, but we do not want that. We want it to use as a list item. So what we can do is, instead of the match parent as a layout height, I'll do it wrap content. Okay, we cannot set the card views width and height to 0 dp. We have to set them to match parent. Now you can see our layout is perfectly visible to us. And if we zoom in, you can also see the card view. You can see the curve. Yeah. Now I'll also give this constraint layout a padding so that anything inside it will be 8 dp ahead away from it. So yeah, now you can see. And if you actually want to see our card view, I can do that. Give it a background tint of any color, and then I'll just select some color. Let's say a gray one. Now you can see it is clear that we are using the card view is rounded and is elevated because of that 5 dp elevation. Okay, I'll let it be like that only. And now what I will do is, our item layout is done, our activity main is done. Now we'll move to our codes. So first of all, I'll have to write the model class. So for the model class, I'll go into Java, right click on first that com.example.asj_recycler, that is a package name, new Kotlin file of class, and give it a class, and its name will be model class. And since it will only contain our data, I'll make it a data class, remove the curly braces, and here I'll pass my IDs. That is, as you can see, our item only has two things, there is the image and our text. And for that, I'll just simply use two values, that is, let's say val title, that is of string type, and val that is an image, a limit image, that will be of integer type. That's it. And now our model class is set. Next thing we need to do is set our adapter. Adapter is very important in RecyclerViews. So again, right click on our package, new Kotlin file class, and here I will name it RecyclerView adapter, and it will be a class. Now our class is created. Here it will extend from RecyclerView dot adapter, and this adapter will contain a view holder. So we'll do RecyclerView adapter, that is the name of our class, dot, and name my view holder as RecyclerView holder. Now let's put some braces. And now our RecyclerView holder is set. And to implement it, we'll have to all press enter to create to see the context menu, and as you can see, it is already giving me an option to create the class, and I will implement it inside my adapter class only. So here I'll use it as an inner class, RecyclerView holder, and it will take in the constructor as my item view. That is, for each item I'll pass my view, and for each item what are the parameters for it. So for that, item view type, and that extends RecyclerView adapter, RecyclerView dot RecyclerView holder, RecyclerView holder, and it will take my item view. And inside this, I'll have to implement my variables, my item views. So as I have two views, that is image view and my text view, and they have the IDs respectively of image view and text view only. So I'll have to set them. So val title equals to item view dot find view by ID. We are using item view because this is not an activity. we cannot directly use find view by ID. We have to use item view because item view is of view type, which is currently using this context. So therefore item view dot find view by ID, and for my title it was a text view type, so text view, and its ID was text view only. Similarly, for my image equals to item view dot find view by ID, image view r dot id dot image view. Okay, now our view holder is set and ready to go. Okay, now the main three functions of our recycler view that I told earlier, that is you can see implement member. I am already getting the option, and I'll have to create these three on create view holder on bind, and so I'll press shift, select everything, and then enter. First I'll have to implement the on create view holder. What this on create view holder will do is that it will tell the adapter to inflate a layout. Which layout it will inflate? It will inflate the item layout that will represent each item from our list. So how to do that? It's very simple. Var view equals to layout inflator dot from, and I'll have to pass my context. My context is my parent dot this dot context, and then I'll have to inflate my layout. And as you can see, it takes in three. I'll use this three parameter type. That is the resource of my layout, my view group, and my the boolean value that is attached to row. So for my layout, which is add.layout.item layout, my view group, as you can see, it's already parent. So parent, and attached to row, it will always be false. If you make it true, then your application will crash. And now we also have to return something. And what will we do? When we return this recycler view holder type. So return recycler view holder, and it will take in a parameter of view type that we just created. So view. Now our on create view holder is complete. Now for the on bind view holder, what it will do is for each and every list item, it will bind the respective image and title for our item layout. So for this, what I can do is, as you can see, I have my holder name as my recycler view holder. So I'll simply use that holder dot title dot text equals, and we will okay, before that I'll have to tell the adapter which array list to use. For that I'll pass it in as a constructor to this class. So here, go up, after RecyclerView adapter, open the basis and pass in our list. So var and then it recycler list, and it will be of a list type, and it will take in my model class, because the list will always be of model class that contains our title and our image. Now I can use it, that is recycler list, and it will add it in the recycler view of the position dot title. And this title indicates this one, that is from a model class. Similarly, for our image, folder dot image dot set image resource, again recycle list of position dot get the image from a model class. And now our layout is set to in respect to a model class. And now the last function, that is the get item count, which is very simple. What it will do is, we only have to return the size of our list. So return the list dot size. That's it. That's it for our model RecyclerView adapter. And now we can jump to our main activity to finally implement the RecyclerView. Before implementing the RecyclerView, I'll have to hard code my list items, and again, I'm hard coding this only because this is an example. And if you are making a professional app, you should not do this, and you should always use a database. and you can even load images or data from the internet using an API call. But for now, I'll hard code this data, and you can do it by, I'll create a list, that is var. I will name it mRecyclerList equals to, and it will be of mutable list, because we want to add so that we are able to add or delete items from anywhere. So mutable list of, it will be of model class type. And next we can now go into our onCreate method. Here what we can do is, we have to set our RecyclerView. So val RecyclerView, find view by ID, it is of RecyclerView type, and it has an ID of r.id.RecyclerView. Next, I'll set my RecyclerView, and to do that, I'll have to first set my adapter. Again, val adapter equals to RecyclerView adapter, that is the class name that we gave it here, RecyclerView adapter. And also we have to pass it a list of model class type, because we implemented it in our constructor. So RecyclerView adapter, and it will take our list of mRecyclerList. And now you have to set connect the adapter to the RecyclerView.adapter equals to our adapter name, adapter itself. And now we also have to set a layout manager for it. So to know about layout manager, you can see here, check. Okay, here you can see layout manager actually denotes what kind of layout you want for a RecyclerView. It doesn't necessarily have to be a linear layout manager. It can be a grid also and a staggered layout also. For staggered, you can have random heights and widths depending on the content of their list. For the grid layout manager, you can simply have a two-dimensional list type, and you can set the number of columns you want. But for now, we are going to use the simple linear layout type. And to use it, what we can do is RecyclerView.layout manager equals to linear layout manager, and we have to pass our context this, and it is set. Now what we have to do is initialize some data. As I told you earlier, I'm going to hard code this data. So I'll implement a function init data, and I will create it, and here I'll hard code. But before I can hard code, I'll just add some sample images which I will copy from my hard drive. So here I'll simply copy these, and I'll simply paste this in the drawable file. Right click, paste, drawable. Okay. And now, as you can see, our images has been loaded up here. Now we can use them. So to do that, first we have to add those items to our list. I'll just hard code it. So mRecyclerList.add, and I'll add an element of model class type. So model class, and as you can see, it will take two parameters, the title and our image. So I'll give it a title of image1, for example, image1, and our image to be r.drawable.img1. Similarly, I'll add in some more data. I'll just duplicate these lines. I'm doing this by pressing Ctrl D, and I'll just change the image and my text. Yeah, I'll do this. Okay, now my hard-coded data is set, and now I will again come back and now I'll again And now our view is ready to go. Now we can run our application to see the recycler view itself. So let me quickly run the application. Now as you can see, our application is running and it is working perfectly fine. We can see our image and our item, and we can even scroll it to see image 6. These are the hard-coded data that I just added. And now I'll also show you how to quickly add another item to our list view, a recycler view. So let me first again go back to my activity main and add a floating action button. I'll do it by going into my design tab, buttons, floating. I will simply drag and drop it here and use the plus sign. In case you don't see this plus sign, you can always add it by right click on this drawable, new vector asset. In the clip art, you can search for add and then it will show you. You can even add it from there. And now I'll give it some constraints to the bottom and the right, and I will set it to show 16 dp right, 16 dp below. Now our FAB is set. As you can see, it already has an ID of floating action button, and I don't need to change any of these ports. And now I'll go back to my main activity, and here I'll simply set it and create its on click listener. So val FAB equals to find view by ID. It is a floating action button type r.id floating action button. Now to set the on click listener, fab dot set on click listener, and here I'll simply tell the recycler view to add another list data. So m recycler list dot add. Again, it should be of module class, and now I'll have to pass my title, and I'll give it a title of new image, and for the image I'll give it a random image of img3, let's say. Yeah, this should not be done professionally, but just for showing you how to use it, I'm doing this again. And now, as you have noticed earlier from the list view video, if you make any changes in the list, you have to notify it. So adapter dot notify dataset changed. Now if I run my application, you can see now that our floating action button is showing, and if I click on it, if we first go down, image 6 is the last one. But now if I press on the plus button, and now if I scroll down, you can see another item is added with the name of new image. And before ending this video, I'd like to say one more thing. If you are removing something or adding something to the list, instead of notify dataset change, you can also use add item inserted, notify item inserted. What it will do is, notify dataset change does is it refreshes the whole list item, the whole list, like every item in the list is refreshed. But if you do something like, just comment it out, adapter dot notify item inserted, and here you have to pass it a position. So if I give it a 0 position, then my new image image 3 will be added at position 0, that is at the top. That is before image 1. Similarly, if we want to use the same fundamental like notify data change at the last of the image and we don't know the size, then we can simply do it by m recycler list dot size -1, and that will work perfectly fine. And also, if you need to remove something from the list, you can do it by remove. Either you can remove directly the element or remove at position by giving the position of the index of the element. So With this, we come to the end of session 3. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.